Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Eileen, and this is Healing House Radio for those of you who are on Healing House Radio. And it is Medicine Walk with Dr. Eileen for those of you who are joining me on here at Medicine Walk on YouTube. And it is so weird thinking that this is the last show of 2017. And it is especially interesting because, I think that it was in September of 2016 that I did my first episode for Medicine Walk, for Blog Talk Radio. Oh my gosh, it's been 7 years almost. And I really want to thank all of you who have participated, all of you, whether it's just by watching the video or whether it's by commenting, liking, sharing, all of that. And especially I want to thank those of you who were on Healing House Radio, and I stopped broadcasting on that for almost a year. And then I took a look back and noticed that there were still people who were logging on and listening to old episodes that were archived. And so that was why I brought Healing House Radio back and decided, well, to figure out a way that I could do them both at once. So thank you. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for walking this journey with me. And as many of you know, I began doing tweets, and each morning it was kind of a thought of the day type of thing. And I remember it was back on August 7th, this last year. And the very first one, I think, was, I will do my best to take a second look at my first reaction before I react. And that started something where I just really felt called to share something, to reach out each day, because I only broadcast the videos once a week, and things would happen during the week. And so I felt that I wanted to reach out in a way and connect. And it's really cool because, as I've done it, I've gotten reactions to it and people comment. And it really is neat. And, getting comments on the videos, which is awesome. Thank you so much for that. And so today I wanted to celebrate you. I wanted to acknowledge you, and I got to put on my reading glasses because, many of you made some really, really great comments and really kind of, got into the spirit of things. One was, it was a tweet that I did, and sometimes the most positive word you can say is no. Whether it's to a child demanding something that's bad for them, someone trying to impose their will on us, or when faced with social injustice and we're asked, don't you agree? A firm no affirms your autonomy and your truth. And AJ, she commented, I did that. It was hard, but I'm not back to that old mess. Feeling great about it, loving my own authority. And Sandy posted, just say yes to no. And a lot of people have asked me where these come from and where I get them. And basically, I take a walk in the morning and I just kind of, consider, okay, what is it that I would really like to share today? And my apologies for looking down, but it's like, I've got my phone here. And so this is about getting the, looking down and looking at the comments. One was, disappointment is a natural result of unmet expectations. The challenge is to associate whatever you're feeling to the event rather than the person, including yourself. If someone often fails to meet your expectations, maybe you need to change the expectations you have for them. And I received a comment from Valerie saying, including oneself, which is a really good observation to make, because if we are not meeting our expectations, we can choose to beat ourselves up about it, or we can choose to change those expectations and create something that's a little bit more reasonable, something that is a little bit easier for us to achieve. And let's see. Just because you needed to bend doesn't mean that you were broken. Just because you lost a battle doesn't mean that you lost the war. Setbacks aren't failures or signs of weakness. They're chances to regroup and reassess. We all have them, but not everyone learns from them. And Carolyn, my dear Carolyn, she often, will comment to the post. She said, every failure, every heartbreak, every loss was always a lesson and a blessing. And Mona posted, yes, I like to look for the good in it. And, some folks who listen in, who respond to the tweets, I know them personally. And it's just so interesting watching people grow through their process and allow me to be able to join them in it and participate in it and allow me to support them in it. Because, ultimately, we're all just here trying to do the best we can to make it through life and to be the best people we know how to be. And so if the things I say are helpful in any way, if the weekly posts that I do on YouTube are in any way something that helps make your journey in this world a little bit easier, I'm glad for that. I'm glad, because by you viewing in and connecting and really making that point of being there to be on the other end of it. Someone once asked me if it was weird sitting in a room by myself and just talking. But honestly, I don't feel like I'm by myself. I don't feel like I'm just sitting and talking to a camera. I feel like I'm talking to you. I feel like you're there. I feel like it is a community. So when I'm talking and when I'm sharing, and yes, at first it did feel a little bit weird, but after a while, it really, and especially after people were interacting with me, it really felt like, wow, I'm talking to folks. I'm talking to people who connect, with this path and are sharing it with me as I'm sharing it with them. So I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you. And I'll just do a few more of the Facebook posts, and I can, then we'll move to the YouTube ones. Let's see. If you're having trouble releasing an emotion, consider that you may have mislabeled it. Trying to let go of anger when what you're really feeling is sad at being hurt is like trying to complete a recipe with the wrong ingredients. You can let go by knowing what you want to let go of, and several people commented on it. And I really appreciate, and I don't want it to come across that it's like, oh, let me read these things that say such nice things about me or what I say. It's not about that, and I hope that I really hesitated. There was a part of me that hesitated to do this because I didn't want that to be what came across. What I want to do is honor that people are really, that they resonate with some of these things, that they experience it. And if you're one of the people who posted, I really want you to understand how much that means to me. While it's true that the time that we spend living with the choices we make is exponentially longer than the time we spend making them, it doesn't mean that we should be afraid of choosing badly. Living with the outcome of our choices helps us to learn, grow, and make better ones. And from Bagaridham, lots of good thought on this one too. Thanks for the wise words. And Renee said, good. And, some comments are short, some comments are a little bit longer. Not every considerate act we do will be acknowledged, and not every well-intended comment will be taken in the spirit we intend. Trust that your good intentions do matter, and you can't hold yourself responsible for the stories that others tell themselves. And Deborah responded, I needed that today. Thank you. And I just, it just really touches me that, that it helps. When dealing with someone in grief, you must accept that there's nothing you can say to make it better. Grief is the most appropriate and sacred response to loss. Don't try to tell them what they need. Just be there for them and wait for them to reveal what they need and when. And Monica, my friend Monica, hey, and usually she's watching. So if you're watching, hello, and I hope things are going well. Monica responded, this is the best wisdom I've ever read to responding to grief. I'm an avid reader, and so many times I've heard from others to read this or that book, or go here or there, or even do this or that to feel better. None of these have ever worked. Grief is a natural process. Thank you for simplifying. And you know, we've talked about a lot of things over the year. We've talked about grief. We've talked about autonomy. We've talked about choices. We've talked about empowerment. And 2017, I mean, I know for me, it has been, you know, kind of a mixed bag. And it's been interesting to see what it is that, you know, has kind of come out, because there have been so many things that have triggered people, and there's so many things that have just really, you know, created both a lot of light and a lot of shadow in people's lives. And in exploring each one of those and how we respond to it, it kind of helps us to be able to put them into perspective as to how we can grow from each of these things that have happened. And frankly, I'm very encouraged about 2018. I'm seeing 2018 as an amazing time of bringing together the lessons from 2017 and hitting the ground running and applying them. I mean, you know, you can figure, oh, well, you know, it may get worse. Yeah, it might. Or it could get a lot better. And if you have to tell yourself a story, tell yourself one that makes you happy. So I actually am very excited. I mean, honestly, I'm very excited about 2018. There's a lot of new things that are going to be coming in, I know, in for me. And I know that it's going to be a lot of change for a lot of people. And while some parts may be scary, yeah, it's still, there's infinite potential for what can happen and how we can grow. So I wanted to share some of the YouTube comments that I had, because, you know, it's, and those are like absolutely awesome. People talking about how things related to them, how topics of programs related to them. And just, you know, like going back to the different episodes that I did. And Banshee Rose, I did an episode 8 months ago called Someone to Watch Over Me. And it's about trusting, it's about believing, you know, not just in a creator that watches over you, but that we have people in our lives who watch over us. There's always somebody who can have your back. And Banshee Rose responded, love the video, off topic question, but I wanted to know what your opinion is. A lot of my friends or women I know online are finding themselves, their self-worth and their truth, but they're taking it to an angry place where all men are bad. I don't need any help, if that makes sense. I often bite my tongue as I don't know what words to say or how to guide them towards taking these newfound strength, and instead of fueling it with anger, letting it come from a place of love. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm lost as to what to do. To say something or just keep silent. Thank you for your input. And I responded on the next episode. You know, we were talking about that. And yeah, it can be really tough. And when you step up into a place of empowerment, one of the things that can happen, and it's a really natural part, is like that kind of fight comes in. It's like, all right, come on, I'll take y'all on. And this is a natural part of that progression, and then it calms down. And I really appreciate Banshee Rose, if you're watching. I appreciate your question. It was like really awesome. She also mentioned, thank you for your videos. I've been watching one each morning as I eat and get ready for work. Well, you're very welcome. And Monica, she has posted and shared a lot, and it really touches me. My dear friend Michelle, Solace Intuitive, who honestly, none of this would be happening if it wasn't for her. And I hope that she's doing well, and I wish her the happiest possible new year. And it's interesting, as people move in and out of each other's lives, and then we just kind of loop back around after a while. So I look forward to the loop around when things get a little bit quieter. It is a new person who is subscribing, who has joined the community, Richard Jelisich. He watched the last episode and said, excellent, rich food for thought and contemplation. And he has a channel called Light News Institute, which is actually really good. And they have meditations that they set up. And, it's really a lot of fun to get to know other people who have channels and who like to things and to address different things that that maybe somebody needs a meditation in a particular morning, and he's got a lot of really good ones. And I value him both as a fellow spiritual worker, and I also value him as a friend and a chosen brother. And we got to know each other, and so it's really cool when you get to know people. And it's that building of community. It's that building of a way for us to connect with one another, to strengthen one another, to support one another. As I said, 2018 is going to be really exciting. I mean, for me personally, because I will be, and I've mentioned this before, I will be stepping up as president of a church called the Universal Church of the Master. And it is coming up on its 100th birthday. It is international. It supports the idea that we each have our own path. We each have our own connection with the universe. And it's about finding and exploring and building on that and sharing that. And it's very much in alignment with what I feel and how I look at spiritual practices. As some of you know, I'm a reverend. And being a reverend, especially through a church that really encourages uniqueness and it encourages self-exploration and spiritual exploration, it just really resonated very well. And I am honored to have been asked to become its president. And so, 2018 is going to open up a whole bunch of stuff. And consider what it is that 2018 is going to open up for you. Maybe there's a new job lined up for you in 2018. Maybe there's a new relationship. Maybe there's a new place to live. There's all kinds of things that are coming up, and it's so exciting to consider that pretty much almost anything can happen. Now, the fact that almost anything can happen means that the stuff that maybe not so fun is coming down the pike at you. That because we're all going to end up dealing with stuff that is not so great, and then we deal with stuff that is great. And like my saying, life is fun until it isn't, and it sucks until it doesn't. And I think we're going to have a fair share of both coming up for 2018. And I think that it is important to keep it in perspective that yeah, as long as you can flow with it, as long as you can move back and forth in and out of that process, don't cling to the stuff that, okay, this was good and I'm never going to have anything else good come in, so I have to hold on to this. Have the courage to let it go and realize that once your hands are empty, that's when you can get something else into them. If you got your hands full, then you can't, you can't see that wonderful thing that's going by, and you can't reach out and get it because you've got your hands full of something else. Release the attachment. That's the same for, sometimes it's easy to start getting really attached to those hard things that happen in our lives. And that can be really difficult because, you have your arms full. Once again, you've got your hands and your arms full, but it's full of stuff that doesn't serve you. It's full of stuff that, oh, this, nothing ever works, and it's going to be another miserable year and all of these bad things. If you've got your arms filled with that, then you can't reach out for the good stuff. You've got no place for it to go. So, especially as this year ends, give it a shot to just figure, you know what? Some good stuff happened. Some bad stuff happened. I learned a lot. Hasta la vista, to all of it. And open yourself up to the possibility of something amazing. And if you have something that is really, a question in your mind or in your heart that you would like explored, please feel free to put it into the comments. And feel free to ask me. I have a lot of ways to reach me. I'm on Twitter. I'm on, in Facebook. You can join up our group, Medicine Walk with Dr. Eileen. You can reach me through my Healing House website, the-healing-house.com, because I want to hear from you guys in 2018. I would love to have, like, reading your comment videos where, you ask a question and I answer it, I answer it live, because I think that would be really cool. I think it would be amazing. We have the live chat that's open, and so you can post in there, and it is something that I enjoy. I enjoy. Now, for those of you who are on Blog Talk Radio, and I see that there is a caller, and I am so sorry that because of the fact that I've got both of these things running at the same time, and maybe you're there just to listen, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to note down your number, and what I will do is I will give you a call afterwards and let you know. And sorry for the camera, hold on, I got to look over here. But I really do appreciate when people reach out. Okay, so I've got your number written down, and I will make sure that I call you after the show is over, just in case you had questions. But hopefully one of my things for next year is to figure out a way that I can answer calls on the Blog Talk Radio and answer comments. What I'm thinking about doing is pre-recording episodes, so that way I can just flat out respond. And, as people call in, I can respond to each one through the comments and through the phone. So yeah, 2018 is going to be wild. It's going to be lots of new things and learning about how to run new software, and whatever it is that 2018 holds for you, I wish nothing but the best for you. I hope that you will be able to embrace all the stuff that's wonderful, and then just lift your hands for more wonderful, and for the hard things that happen, that you can release that and be able to, get some good stuff in your hands. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for an amazing 2017. Thank you for joining me in 2018. Next week will be the first episode of 2018. And so we're going to be talking about some of the new stuff coming in. By then, hopefully I've got some things a little bit more in place, and it's going to be fun. Of holidays, and I wish you an amazing year. And if you appreciated this, you can like, you can share, you can comment, or you can subscribe. And for those of you who are on Blog Talk Radio, you can watch a YouTube video and enter that community. More than anything else, and from the bottom of my heart, I wish you balance and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. Love you. Bye-bye.